Hey everyone! Today we're going to discuss about most expected Viva question from the topic flashpoint and drop point. So let's get started. Firstly, what is the objective of this experiment? The objective of this experiment is to determine the flashpoint of an oil by Abel's and Penske-Martin's apparatus, and to determine the drop point of grease. What is the difference between Abel's and Penske-Martin apparatus? The Abel's flashpoint apparatus is a closed cup method in which the oil is heated in a closed cup. Penske-Martin apparatus can be both open or closed cup. In the open cup apparatus, the oil is heated with its upper surface exposed to the atmosphere, and in the closed cup apparatus, the oil is heated in a closed cup. Abel's flashpoint apparatus is suitable for low flashpoint, generally up to 90 degrees Celsius. However, Penske-Martin's apparatus is suitable for higher flashpoint, generally up to 370 degrees Celsius. Define flashpoint, fire point, and ignition point. The flashpoint of an oil is the minimum temperature at which the oil gives off sufficient vapors that will ignite momentarily to produce a flash when a flame of standard size is passed over the surface of the oil under standard conditions. The fire point of an oil is the minimum temperature at which the oil gives off sufficient vapors that will ignite and continue to burn for at least 5 seconds when a flame of standard size is passed over the surface of the oil under standard conditions. The ignition point of an oil is the minimum temperature at which the oil gives off sufficient vapors that will ignite and continue to burn when a flame of standard size is passed over the surface of the oil under standard conditions. Why two different methods might give different flashpoint for same substance? Closed cup methods prevent vapor loss, giving a lower and more precise flashpoint, while open cup methods allow some vapor dispersion, leading to a slightly higher value. Which method is more accurate? Closed cup method is more accurate because it prevents vapor loss, giving a lower and safer flashpoint. What is the relation between volatility and flashpoint? Volatility and flashpoint follows an inverse relation, which means higher the volatility, lower the flashpoint, and vice versa. This is because more volatile liquids evaporate easily, producing flammable vapors at lower temperatures, and less volatile liquids requires higher temperatures to release enough vapors to ignite. What is a lubricant? Lubricant is any substance introduced between two moving or sliding surfaces with a view to reduce the frictional resistance between them. The main purpose of lubricant is to keep the sliding or moving surfaces apart. What is the significance of determining flashpoint, fire point, and ignition point? The flash, fire, and ignition points do not indicate directly the lubricating value of the oil, but are important when the oil is exposed to the high-temperature service. These tests provide safeguard against risks of decomposition and outbreak of fire during storage and use. How will you define grease? Grease can be defined as any semi-solid lubricant obtained by combining oil with thickening agents. Give one advantage and one disadvantage of using grease. One advantage of using grease could be that it can support much heavier load at lower speed. One disadvantage of using grease is that it cannot effectively dissipate heat from bearings, therefore works at relatively lower temperature. Internal resistance of grease is much higher than that of lubricating oil. Therefore, it is better to use oil instead of grease. When are grease used? Greases are normally used under conditions of lubrication for which oil is not as suitable or convenient. What are the conditions under which grease can perform better than oil? Grease perform better than oil under following conditions: high bearing load, slow journal speed, temperature extremities, minimum attention, and large bearing cleanliness. What are the various components of grease? The principal component of grease is lubricating oil, which can be either synthetic hydrocarbon or petroleum oil. The thickeners consist of special soaps of lithium, sodium, aluminum, etc. Non-soap thickeners include carbon black, silica gel, and other synthetic polymers. What are the different types of grease? There are 4 main types of grease. These are calcium-based grease or cup grease, soda-based grease, lithium-based grease, and axle grease. Calcium-based grease are emulsion of petroleum oils with calcium soaps. Soda-based grease are petroleum oils which are thickened by mixing sodium soaps. Lithium-based grease are petroleum oils thickened by mixing lithium soaps. Axle grease are prepared by adding lime to resin and fatty oils. Which type of grease is water-soluble and why? Soda-based grease is the only type of grease which is water-soluble, and this is because of the presence of sodium content in it. Name some synthetic oils which can be used in grease making. Polyalkene glycol, silicones, fluorocarbons, and chlorinated biphenyl are among various synthetic oils which can be used in grease making. How did American Society of Testing Materials define grease in earlier time? For many years, ASTM, that is, American Society for Testing Materials, defined grease as a combination of a petroleum products and a soap or mixture of soaps, with or without fillers suitable for certain lubrication applications. What is the revised definition given by American Society of Testing Materials? The revised definition included the information about lubricating oil and thickening agent, which was not mentioned in earlier definition. The revised definition is as follows. Grease is a solid to semi-solid dispersion of a thickening agent in liquid lubricant. Other ingredients imparting special properties may be included. What are the various apparatus used in drop point experiment? The various apparatus used in drop point experiment are grease cup, test tube, and bath. What does drop point indicate? The drop point indicates the temperature at which grease begins to melt and therefore defines an operating limit. It becomes ineffective and non-functional if it is used beyond its dropping point. Why do we call it drop point and not melting point? The term melting point cannot be applied to greases because grease is not a single pure compound. Instead, the term dropping point is used to define the temperature at which grease passes to a liquid state, either by melting or separation of the oil phase. What is the use of oxidation inhibitors? Oxidation inhibitors are used in greases to improve oxidation resistance. They are commonly used in greases that are used in lifetime lubricated ball or roller bearings. Certain complex amines are used as oxidation inhibitors. What is the use of dyes and ordants? Dyes and ordants are used to make the appearance or odor of a product more acceptable. What is the use of graphite? Graphite is often used as fillers to help retain grease within the bearing under severe loading, starting and stopping conditions. With this, we come to an end of the video. Do share your feedback in comment section. Also, let us know which topic you need next. Thank you so much for watching.